Hello, everyone. I'm Abu Zar Sakhawat, and I'm going to have a very short presentation about phenomenology research. That's a guide to a phenomenological research design, and I hope that those students and those who are really going to uh, embark the journey on a phenomenological research. I hope that they find this video is quite, this introduction quite informative and productive into their own research journey. Before I get a start to talk about the phenomenology research, I would like to say that there are five main approaches. There are five main research approach into a qualitative kind of a investigation. Five qualitative approaches to inquiry: narrative research, phenomenology research, grounded theory research, ethnographic research, and case study research. So, what is phenomenology research? With the phenomenological approach, a researcher indicates the specific to identify the phenomenon through how they are perceived by the actors in a situation. This is basically grounded into inductively gathering deep information from individuals' life and their experience. So, what is distinctive to phenomenology research is that this information is collected from the individual's lives and their experience. Collecting data occurs in a qualitative method such as participants' observations, discussion, and interviews. The very important factor in phenomenology research is that this research method answers the what is it questions rather than how much and how many. So, but what is the characteristics of phenomenology research? Phenomenology as a method has four characteristics, like as you see on the screen: the descriptive, reduction, essence, and intentionally. What is description? The aim of phenomenology is the description of the phenomenon and not explain the phenomenon, including any emerging phenomena such as emotions, thoughts, and actions of human beings and as such. That's phenomenology means describe something to the thing itself. But what is reduction? Free from bias and prejudice? So reduction is a process in which the assumptions and prejudice about the phenomenon are delayed to ensure that biases do not pollute the description of the observation and ensure that the form of the description as the thing themselves. So reduction means we need to get the pure scientific fact from the observations and interviews, not something which is biased and prejudiced and taking the right and wrong side. Essence. Search essence is the core meaning of individual experience in certain phenomena as they are. So search essence, I mean, the essential themes to or relationships are essential in the phenomenon of what it involves as the exploration of the phenomenon and using the free imaginations, intuition, and reflection. Intentionality, which refers to the correlations between an objective statements of a behavior and its subjective reflections that direct interpretation of the experience. So these are the main characteristics of the phenomenology research. Now, how should we go through phenomenology research? There are three very the main steps of phenomenology is before we go through those steps, we should just bear in mind that researchers totally understand the phenomenon. So that's why they go through the phenomenology process. The first step to carry out a phenomenology process is the phenomenology research is intuiting. Researchers totally understand the phenomenon. So researchers who want to dig a phenomenon known from informants about their experience working. In this case, the researchers avoid criticism, evaluation, or any opinion on matters submitted by participants and emphasizes the phenomenon under study so that a true picture comes out. See, emphasizes the phenomenon under the study and its true picture will come out and throughout the whole study. Analyzing. What is analyzing? The second stage is analyzing. In analyzing a stage, the researcher identified the meaning of the phenomenon that has been excavated and explored the relationship and links between the data. All right. So they explored the relationship and the links between the data with existing phenomenon. The important data were analyzed carefully. Then the researchers get the data needed to ensure a pure and powerful image. And the last step is phenomenological describing, which means the researchers communicate and provide a written description of the critical elements that are based on the classification and clustering phenomena. The purpose of this phase is to communicate the meaning and significance of the experience. All right. So, but we should just bear in mind that each research study has its own advantages and disadvantages. So in this part, in phenomenological studies, we have the advantages, which like wide coverage of the range of situation, can be fast and economical, may be relevant to policy decisions when statistics are exaggerated in large sample, help to adjust to new issues and ideas as they emerge, contribute to the development of new theories, and gather data which is seen as natural rather than artificial, which I believe the third advantage, which is maybe relevant to policy decisions when statistics are exaggerated in large samples. I believe this is the best advantage of carrying out a phenomenology research. But it also has disadvantages too. Uh, Phenomenology study is not very effective in understanding processes or the significant people attached to action because it focuses on what is or what has been recently. It makes it hard for the policy makers to infer what actions should take place in the future. Data gathering can take up a great deal of time and resources, may be harder than positive approach to control pace, progress, and endpoints. And policymakers may give low credibility to a phenomenological study. Maybe to me, one of the biggest disadvantages of phenomenology research is the last one. The policymakers may give low credibility. Means that although you put a lot of effort to gather data, to process data, it still is not that much valuable enough to the policymakers. That's all about the phenomenology studies, so phenomenology research design. So I hope that you found this introduction quite helpful. And thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you.